After the breakup, everyone thought I was so heartbroken because when the news came out, I was at a basketball game and they caught me looking like this. Look, I was just chilling, but the internet decided that that was me being sad. Luckily for me, if you Google sad Michael Jordan, the first 8,000 results are this.
Michael B. Jordan broke up with me all because of Chadwick Boseman. That is why Michael is still unmarried at 39. When he won the Oscar for Best Actor, I sent him my congratulations, but he did not reply.
Ooh, man, y'all. I stand here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home for supporting me over my career. I feel it. I know you guys want me to do well, and I want to do that because you guys bet on me. So thank you for keep betting on me.
Michael B. Jordan is the topic right now, and things just got real interesting. He just snagged an Oscar for Best Actor for his role in Sinners, where he pulled off playing twins, and honestly, he nailed it. The performance was sharp, emotional, and had people locked in from start to finish. Some viewers were all in on the film, backing it heavy, while others had mixed feelings and weren't completely sold on it. But either way, the conversation around it has been loud. But this isn't even about the movie like that. It's about Michael B. Jordan himself and how his whole life seems to have leveled up. Ever since things ended with Lori Harvey, something shifted, and people can't stop noticing it. His career, moving different. His presence, stronger than ever. It's like everything started clicking right after that chapter closed, and folks are definitely paying attention to the timing. Everyone remembers that courtside moment too. Right after the breakup, he was sitting there at the game, cameras all on him, and his face was telling the whole story. Some people were saying he looked hurt, like he was still dealing with how everything went down. Others pointed out how he kept nodding, smiling, and trying to play it cool for the cameras, almost like he was covering something up. And yeah, people were talking, saying he probably did feel a way about how that relationship ended. He probably did feel it, no doubt about that. That clip still sticks in people's minds because it looked like a turning point. Every time that breakup comes up, that moment at the game is what people go back to. Like that was the second everything shifted for him. It's almost like right then and there, he locked in and decided to level up, putting all his energy into becoming the best actor he could be. He started moving smarter, keeping his personal life low-key and letting his work speak louder than anything else. There's also talk that maybe Lori wanted things to be more public back then, and that could have caused tension. Some people even say that made his relationship with her feel more genuine compared to what's being seen now with Damson Idris, because if you saw that recent balcony clip, it had people raising eyebrows. They was out there, making it very visible, almost like it was meant to be seen. And folks started questioning if that's how most couples really move. Even when Lori was with Michael B. Jordan, you didn't really see moments like that being put on display like that. That's why some are saying this current situation feels more staged, like it's trying hard to send a message. People are even bringing up how she replied in the comments section about leaving a good man to find a husband, even though she hasn't taken that step yet, and that just added to the conversation. She got a ring, but still no wedding, and people are definitely noticing that.
And I'm gonna keep stepping up, and I'm gonna keep being the best version of myself I could be. So I just wanna say thank you for everybody in this room that had something to do with my success. I love you guys. And everybody at home who supported Sinners, who went to go see the movie once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, thank you. Because you guys made this movie what it is. I love you, I love you, I love you.
Lori Harvey even jumped into the comments section agreeing with that whole idea, basically saying, yeah, that's how it goes, or something along those lines. A lot of folks already saw that clip and talked about it, and it really gave a glimpse into where her mindset might be right now. And then there's that moment with Steve Harvey that had people talking too. When he saw Michael B. Jordan at a Lakers game, he greeted him like normal, nothing wild, just two people who knew each other, keeping it respectful. But apparently, Lori wasn't feeling that at all. There's talk that she checked Steve over it, making it clear she didn't want that kind of interaction happening again, which caught a lot of people off guard. Steve Harvey is an older guy, and he doesn't seem like the type to ignore someone he had a solid connection with, especially considering he and Michael had built a level of respect when he was dating Lori. It wasn't awkward, it wasn't messy, it looked like basic maturity, but the reaction to it made things seem way deeper than they probably needed to be. What's really got people raising eyebrows is the idea that if it were any other ex, it might not have even mattered. But in this situation, some are saying it feels like there's this quiet pressure to prove something, to show she's moved on and upgraded. The only issue is, a lot of people watching from the outside aren't fully convinced that message is landing the way it's intended. That whole balcony moment with Damson Idris, it didn't really hit the way it was probably supposed to. For a lot of people watching, it came off more awkward than anything else, like it was trying too hard to make a statement instead of just being natural. The vibe just felt off, and people picked up on that real quick. Some are even saying Lori hasn't adjusted to how much things have changed over time. Back when she was with Michael B. Jordan, that's when people really had her labeled as the IT girl, and everything she did was getting attention. But after that relationship ended, the spotlight didn't stick the same way, and now the reactions aren't as automatic as they used to be. Meanwhile, Michael B. Jordan seems to have gone in a completely different direction. He locked in on his craft, stayed focused, and now he's standing on that stage holding an Oscar, which says everything without him even needing to explain it. That kind of moment shows a shift, putting energy into building something real and long-lasting instead of chasing attention and trying to prove anything to anyone.
I can understand, after all, we have been broken up for 4 years. We were in a relationship for more than a year, but I have always felt that no one could ever take Chadwick's place in his heart. The David Yurman brooch he wore on the back of his neck when he went on stage to accept the award was from Chadwick's favorite jewelry brand. Chadwick has been gone for 6 years, but Michael still took him with him to the Oscar stage.
On the other side, people feel like Lori is still making very public moves that come across more like performances than real moments. There's a sense that she's trying to stay in the conversation, but the response hasn't been the same. And that contrast is exactly why so many people keep comparing where both of them are right now. All that stuff people are seeing, it's not really selling the way it's supposed to. It doesn't come across like real success. And when something isn't hitting, that's when the extra moves start showing up. The public moments, the attention grabs, the setups, it starts to feel more like strategy than real life. And a lot of people are catching on to that pattern fast. There's even talk that Damson Idris is getting pulled into this situation in a way that doesn't fully benefit him. Like, imagine being in something that looks picture perfect on the outside, but people are questioning if it's only happening when attention is needed. That's the kind of conversation floating around, and it's why folks aren't fully buying into what they're seeing. The thing is, people might talk about it for a moment, but then it fades quickly. When something doesn't feel genuine, the interest doesn't last. It becomes one of those topics people laugh about, maybe joke on a little, and then move on from because it doesn't hold weight. Even content creators speak on it, but not for long, because once it feels like a setup, there's not much depth to keep it going. Now compare that to Michael B. Jordan's path, and it's a whole different story. His timeline shows steady growth and real work being put in over years. Going all the way back to 1999 through 2002, he was already in the game as a child model and getting early acting roles on shows like The Cosby Show and The Sopranos. Then from 2002 to 2011, he stepped into more serious roles like Wallace on HBO's The Wire, plus appearances on All My Children, and later as quarterback Vince Howard on Friday Night Lights. That kind of build-up shows consistency, not quick attention grabs. Friday Night Lights, for those of you who don't know, who haven't seen that show, excellent TV show. I used to watch that show every weekend. Not every weekend, but every week I used to watch that show. And he had a short stint on there, but he was one of my favorite characters on there. Okay, let's go to from 2012 to 2015. He starred in Chronicle. Chronicle really is when he started to ascend doing movies, because up until then he was doing television. Chronicle really got him out there, because Chronicle was very acclaimed. People really liked that, his role in that. And then he did the role of Oscar Grant in Fruitvale Station. That's when he started to show his range as an actor. So let's go from 2015 to 2018. He starred in the Creed movies. The first one was in 2015. He also was Eric Killmonger in Black Panther. And then let's go from 2019 to 2026. He starred in a movie called Just Mercy, and he made his directorial debut in Creed 3. He also starred in that project too. And by 2025, everyone saw what happened next. He stepped into centers and walked away with the Oscar for Best Actor. And a lot of people are saying that win was well earned, no matter who tries to debate it or throw out other names. His performance spoke for itself. He was the glue of that entire movie, the one holding everything together and keeping it locked in from start to finish. When you really look at his career, it's been one steady climb the whole time. There's never been that moment where he just dropped off or lost momentum completely. Sure, there were times he stepped out of the spotlight a bit, but that didn't look like a fall-off, it looked like strategy. It felt like he was behind the scenes, lining things up and preparing for the next big move. Right before Centers, he wasn't all over the place in the media, and then suddenly he comes back with a performance like that and takes over the conversation. That kind of timing doesn't happen by accident. It shows he's being selective, choosing roles carefully instead of just jumping into anything that comes his way. And that approach matters. Picking the right roles, staying patient, and focusing on quality over quantity. That's how careers last and awards get won. Now with 39, he's right in that prime zone, still building, still evolving, and still moving upward without any real setbacks slowing him down.
Last year, Michael attended Chadwick's Hollywood Walk of Fame star ceremony. He also has Black Panther figurines at his home. The scene in the center where he holds a white flower was his quiet tribute to Chadwick. They have bigger and grander goals, and winning the Oscar for Best Actor is only one of them. Michael will probably not get married until he fulfills these dreams.
And that's what really separates him from a lot of people in the industry right now. It's not just talent, it's discipline, timing, and knowing when to move and when to stay quiet. Because not everybody can handle stepping back from the spotlight and trusting that their work is going to speak louder later on. You've got a lot of people chasing attention every single week, trying to stay trending, trying to stay seen. But Michael B. Jordan took a different route. He built his name over time, stacked his roles carefully, and made sure that when he shows up, it actually means something. That's why when he drops a film or takes on a role, people pay attention instantly. And let's be real, that kind of focus usually comes from learning hard lessons along the way. Experiences shape how you move, especially when it comes to balancing personal life and career. Some people let distractions throw them off course, but others use those moments to level up and refocus completely. Now you're seeing the result of that mindset in real time. Bigger roles, major awards, and more control over his career moves. He's not just acting anymore, he's building something long-term, something that's gonna stick. And the way things are going, it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. And when you look at how the public is reacting now, it's a completely different kind of respect he's getting. It's not just about being popular or trending for a moment. It's about being taken seriously across the board. People aren't just watching him, they're studying his moves, paying attention to how he's navigating everything. That's why moments like winning that Oscar hit harder. It's not just the award itself, it's what it represents. Years of consistency, smart decisions, and staying locked in even when nobody's constantly hyping you up. That kind of recognition doesn't come from chasing noise. It comes from building something solid over time. Meanwhile, people are still comparing paths, whether it's fair or not. One side looks calm, focused, and strategic, while the other side looks more public, more visible, and a lot more debated. And when those two things sit side by side, people are naturally going to start forming opinions and picking apart what feels real versus what feels like it's being pushed for attention. At the end of the day, the difference is in how everything is being handled. One approach is quiet but effective. The other is loud but questioned. And right now, it's clear which one is actually producing results that people can't ignore. And the wild part is, this isn't even the peak yet. That's what really has people talking. Because when someone is this locked in, this calculated, and still stacking wins, you already know there's more coming. He's not moving like someone who just hit the top. He's moving like someone who's still building and hasn't shown everything yet. That's why every next move feels important. Whether it's another major film, stepping deeper into directing, or even producing bigger projects, people are watching closely to see how far he's going to take it. And based on the pattern so far, it's not looking like he's about to slow down or start making careless decisions anytime soon.
I go back and forth between wanting partnership and then not knowing what's the best partner for me. And the worst part is the loneliness that comes with that. I think there's a loneliness that I have. Like bringing them into my world, what I got going on isn't easy. And it's not just I love you, you love me. That should be enough, right? The responsibility that you have and is isolating, and the weight is isolating. So I think the worst part of that is the feeling like nobody really understands.
At the same time, the conversations around his personal life aren't hitting the same way anymore. That used to be a big part of how people talked about him, but now it feels secondary. The focus has shifted heavily onto his work, his achievements, and the way he's positioning himself in the industry. And that right there is a power move on its own. When the narrative changes from who you're dating to what you're accomplishing, that's when things really elevate. That's when people stop seeing you as just a name in headlines and start recognizing you as someone building a legacy that's gonna last way beyond the moment. And once you reach that point, the whole game changes completely. Now, it's not about proving people wrong every 5 minutes. It's about maintaining that level and protecting what you built. Because when you got momentum like that, one wrong move can throw things off. But he doesn't look like someone moving careless at all. You can tell he understands the long game. Every role, every appearance, every decision feels intentional, like there's a bigger plan behind it. He's not just thinking about right now, he's thinking years ahead, setting himself up to stay relevant and respected in an industry where people come and go fast. And that's why the comparisons keep popping up, even when nobody says them out loud. People see one path that's grounded and building, and another that feels more about staying visible in the moment. That contrast keeps the conversation alive, whether people agree with it or not. At this stage, it's less about what people say and more about what's actually happening. The results are right there for everyone to see. Awards, major roles, and a career that keeps climbing without losing direction. That's the difference between chasing attention and becoming something people can't ignore, no matter how quiet you move. And when everything is laid out like this, it starts to make more sense why people keep circling back to his story. It's not random, it's not luck, it's a pattern of discipline, focus, and knowing exactly what he wants out of his career. That's why every move feels like it's adding to something bigger instead of just filling space. You don't see him jumping into messy situations or oversharing just to stay relevant. That's not the lane he's in anymore. He's moved into a space where the work carries the weight and the results speak louder than any headline ever could. That kind of positioning is hard to reach and even harder to maintain, but he's making it look natural. At the same time, the outside noise is still there. People still talking, still comparing, still trying to figure out what's real and what's not. But the difference now is that noise doesn't seem to affect his direction at all. He's locked in, moving forward, and letting everything else just play out in the background. And that's why this whole situation keeps people watching. Because in real time, you're seeing two completely different approaches to fame, attention, and success. One is built on consistency and growth, while the other keeps getting questioned. And as time keeps moving, that gap is only becoming more obvious to everybody paying attention. And the longer this plays out, the clearer the separation becomes. It's not even subtle anymore. People can see the difference without having to overanalyze anything. One path is steady, building brick by brick, while the other keeps having these moments to spark quick reactions but don't really stick long term. That's why more people are starting to respect the quiet grind. It might not always be the loudest or most talked about approach in the moment, but over time, it shows real results. And that's exactly what's happening here. Every year, every project, every move just keeps adding more weight to his name, making it harder for anyone to question what he's doing. Meanwhile, the conversations on the other side keep resetting. One week it's a viral clip, the next week it's a new headline, but it doesn't feel like it's building toward anything solid.
I almost got married very young, and so I think after that it made me be like, okay, I felt like I hadn't really experienced anything. I didn't really know myself. I didn't really know what I liked, what I didn't like. I just feel like I hadn't really experienced life. So I think at that point then I was like, okay, I'm about to, like I said, just date on my terms. And like, however I want to move, whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do it. And if it's no longer serving me, I'm gonna move on.
And when people start noticing that pattern, the excitement fades quicker than it used to. At this point, it's less about opinions and more about patterns. People are watching how things unfold over time, and they're drawing their own conclusions based on consistency versus moments. And right now, consistency is winning by a mile, and it's not even close. And at this stage, people aren't just watching, they're starting to lock in their opinions for good. Because when patterns repeat over and over, it stops feeling like coincidence and starts feeling like reality. What once looked like close comparisons now feels like two completely different lanes, and that gap keeps getting wider every time something new happens. The respect factor is shifting too. It's no longer just about who's being seen the most, it's about who's actually putting in the work and delivering results that last. And when someone keeps showing growth without all the extra noise, people naturally start giving that a different level of credit. On the flip side, when moments feel overly staged or too perfectly timed, it raises questions instead of building support. People aren't as quick to buy into everything they see anymore. They're paying attention, reading between the lines, and calling things out when it doesn't feel authentic. And that's where everything really separates. One side keeps stacking real achievements, while the other keeps ending up in conversations that don't always translate into long-term respect. As this keeps unfolding, more people are starting to see exactly what matters and what doesn't. And that shift in perception is louder than anything else going on right now. And now it's getting to the point where the results are speaking so loud nobody can really ignore them anymore. It's not about debates or opinions at this stage. It's about what's actually happening in real time. One side keeps stacking wins that are undeniable, while the other keeps ending up in moments that fade just as fast as they show up.
That's why the energy around them feels different now. It's more solid, more earned, and way more respected. People aren't just reacting, they're acknowledging the work, the patience, and the consistency it took to get here. That kind of recognition hits deeper than any quick viral moment ever could. And the crazy part is, this all connects back to choices. The decision to stay focused, to move in silence when needed, and to not get caught up in chasing attention. Those choices add up over time, and now you're seeing the payoff in the biggest way possible. Meanwhile, on the other side, the pressure to stay visible seems non-stop. It's like every move has to be bigger, louder, or more noticeable than the last, just to keep people watching. But when that becomes the pattern, people start questioning the intent behind it instead of just enjoying what they're seeing. And that's where everything stands right now. One path built on long-term growth, the other stuck in short-term moments. And as time keeps moving, that difference is only becoming more clear with every new headline and every new move that gets put out there. And where things go from here is what really has people locked in. Because once someone reaches this level and still keeps that same hunger, it usually means they're not done yet. They're just getting warmed up. And that's the energy he's giving right now. Like everything so far is just part of a bigger plan that's still unfolding. You can already see the setup for what's next. Bigger projects, more control behind the scenes, and opportunities that go beyond just acting. When you start directing, producing, and shaping stories your own way, that's when you step into a whole different level of power in the industry. And let's be real, not everybody makes that transition smoothly. Some people try it and it doesn't land. But in his case, it's actually adding more layers to his career. It's making it more valuable, more respected, and way harder to overlook. At the same time, the public is still watching everything else play out on the other side. Every post, every appearance, every headline, it all gets picked apart and compared, whether that's fair or not. But that's just how it goes when two stories are this connected in people's minds. And as this keeps moving forward, one thing is becoming real clear. Longevity isn't built on moments, it's built on moves that actually mean something over time. And right now, you can see exactly who is setting themselves up to last and who's still trying to keep the spotlight from fading. He might not even be at his peak yet, and that's the wild part. Even at 39, it looks like he's still getting started and unlocking new levels. That's what makes this whole journey stand out so much. As a black man, seeing that kind of focus hit different. Instead of getting caught up chasing attention or relationships, he locked in on achievements. And that shift is what's really paying off right now. There's nothing wrong with choosing success and building something solid for yourself. Nobody should be pressured into a timeline that doesn't fit their life. If marriage or a family isn't where you're at right now, that's okay. And if you give someone a chance and it doesn't work out, you don't have to jump into the next situation right away. Sometimes the real move is to step back and refocus, put that energy into leveling up, into building, into becoming better overall. That's exactly what Michael B. Jordan did, and that's why a lot of people are giving him respect for how he handled everything. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know how you see it. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.